the Temple of Speed for the last race of the European season, the home of the Tifosi, the home of Ferrari. Welcome to Monza. Just 1 week on then from the Belgian Grand Prix in Spa, we are in Italy at the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Celebrating 90 years of Ferrari and its 89th race, we're at Monza. It is round number 14 of the season. After this, it's the last European race of the year before we go on to Singapore on the 22nd of September, then over to Russia, Japan, Mexico, United States, Brazil, and rounding out the season on the 1st of December. In the Drivers' Championship, Lewis Hamilton leads on 268 points. Valtteri Bottas on 203. Verstappen is fighting with Vettel and Leclerc over third place in the title. They are getting tasty, especially after Leclerc's victory. Vettel, the only driver in the top 5 not to win a race so far this year. Looking further down, Gasly and Sainz are battling over 6th. Kvyat, Raikkonen, Albon, Norris, Ricciardo, Perez and Hülkenberg, along with Stroll and Magnussen, all battling for that top 9 positions, all getting awfully close going into the end of the season. That's then followed by Grosjean on 8 points and Giovinazzi and Kubica on 1, and George Russell, the only driver without a point. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes leads the way, 471 points, over 100.5 clear of Ferrari, who are on 326. Red Bull as well on a class of their own on 254 in third. They look like to be the top 3 teams of the year. It's still close, McLaren 4th with Toro Rosso 5th, but Toro Rosso are battling Renault at the moment, who are also battling Racing Point. Alfa and Haas are battling it out over 8th place, and the mighty have fallen. Haas going for 4th last year, struggling to hold off 9th this year, and Williams of course just happy they've got 1 point and get some money out of the bonus boards. It's the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza, the 89th running but the 90th official Grand Prix. Welcome to the Italian Grand Prix at Monza. Hello everybody and welcome to the Friday practice review for the 2019 Italian Grand Prix. It is an absolutely brilliant day if your name is Charles Leclerc, because he has topped not only FP1 but FP2 as well. Now, FP1 this morning was a bit of a washout. FP2 had some moments of rain, but was mainly a dry session. But let's start off with the first practice report from Monza. And Leclerc was fastest as it was a rain-hit first session. A late lap on medium tyres sent Leclerc to the top of the timesheets for the first practice session on Friday morning. McLaren's Carlos Sainz was second. Proves how much wet it was. And Lando Norris was in third. Lewis Hamilton fourth. And Alexander Albon in 5th place. The session was interrupted 3 times with red flags. The first for Kimi Raikkonen, having spun the Parabolica and putting it into the wall when he's Alfa Romeo. The second with a much more heavier impact for Sergio Perez. Coming out of Ascari, he got onto the damp part of the track and lifted his rear tyres and put it into the wall. He was on intermediates at the time. Didn't damage the gearbox, luckily. The third red flag, well, that was caused by Pierre Gasly mounting a curb at the first corner and having to bring out the red flag for the car to be retrieved. Luckily, there was no damage. The track dried and Leclerc, as I said, topped the timesheets at 1:27.905. Sainz at his time 3/10 off of Leclerc on soft tyres. The same went for Lando Norris. Hamilton took slicks at the end of the first practice session, spun at turn 1 and couldn't get a proper flying lap in, so finished 4th ahead of Albon in 5th. The top 5 separated by over a second. Ferrari, well, Vettel was in 8th place behind Max Verstappen. Number of spins out here today as well. Low downforce setups as well didn't help with the tyres not getting up to temperature in the cold conditions. And really, it was just a bizarre first practice session. So, a washout in FP1, but anyway, we did get some running. Here's the times for the first practice session. So in a very mixed up free practice one, it's Charles Leclerc who tops the timesheets at 1:27.905. Carlos Sainz second at 1:28.211. Lando Norris in third at 1:28.450. Lewis Hamilton is fourth at 1:28.730. Alexander Albon in fifth on a 1:29.025. Danny Kvyat is 6th on a 1:29.960. Max Verstappen 7th at 1:30.100. Then we get Sebastian Vettel 8th on a 1:30.507. Valtteri Bottas is 9th at 1:30.596. Pierre Gasly rounds out the top 10 on a 1:30.695. Antonio Giovinazzi is 11th on a 1:32.848. Lance Stroll is in 12th on a 1:33.976. Danny Ricciardo 13th on a 1:34.528. Kevin Magnussen 14th on a 1:34.715. Nico Hülkenberg 15th on 1:35.1133. Then we get Romain Grosjean 16th on a 1:35.980. Robert Kubica 17th on 1:37.816. George Russell in 18th on a 1:38.421. 19th for Sergio Perez, he crashed out and caused out a red flag. The same goes for Kimi Raikkonen, causing a red flag of the day and ended up in 20th. Right, let's go on to the second practice session then and the report. And, once again, Charles Leclerc was fastest. He absolutely dominated Friday, topping the first two sessions. The first man this year to do so, by the way, to have a clean sweep going for him. Let's see if he can win the Italian Grand Prix for Ferrari, eh? FP3 in qualifying tomorrow will be interesting. Leclerc was top from Lewis Hamilton in second, Sebastian Vettel, his teammate, in third, Valtteri Bottas fourth, and Max Verstappen in fifth place. Leclerc's time is a 1:20.978. The threat of rain lightened and Mercedes wasted no time heading out onto the track first to get as much data as they possibly could, as this circuit isn't historically good to them in terms of tyre life. So that's where Ferrari this year could have the advantage. Remember what happened previous Grand Prix in Belgium, but Mercedes have won here for quite a few years. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't sort of situations. They get lucky, basically, with a one-stopper, but they have to save their tyres, but they're good at that. Mercedes, as I said, wasted no time. Hamilton set the pace beginning of the session with a 1:21.972. Bottas was just half a second slower. Leclerc was starting the session on the hard compound tyres, which switched to the softs 20 minutes in and set the fastest time with a 1:29.78. Then the rain came down and the red flag was called after everyone was in the pit lane to clear up some gravel driving them down at the Dalla Roggia chicane. So that sort of put a halt to the proceedings and nobody could get a faster lap time in after that as the track was drying ready up. So the rain again affecting that. But it was a close field. Lando Norris didn't really get a great session either. He was stuck in the pit lane for most of the dry running, so he was stuck down in 18th place, 2.5 seconds off of Leclerc's time. He had a suspected power unit issue and gearbox issue, but he wasted no time in getting the Valentino Rossi merchandise out, as to this weekend he's celebrating the 9-time world champion of MotoGP. Valentino Rossi with helmet, boots and gloves. You could say head, shoulders, knees and toes. But it was an unlikely FP2 to see Leclerc top, but they were quick in Belgium, and Ferrari once again dominate a Friday session, but with only one driver in the form of Charles Leclerc. So it's a welcome surprise as we go into Saturday here at Monza, the home of Ferrari in Italy. Right, let's take a look at the times then for free practice 2. Well, Charles Leclerc makes it a great restart to his weekend. After his victory in Belgium, he tops the second session in a much more realistic time, a 1:20.978. Lewis Hamilton second, a 1:21.046. Sebastian Vettel third, on a 1:21.179. Valtteri Bottas is fourth, a 1:21.347. Max Verstappen is fifth, but starts in the back of the grid with a penalty on 1:21.350. Alexander Albon sixth on 1:21.589. Pierre Gasly seventh on 1:22.124. Romain Grosjean is eighth on 1:22.153. Danny Ricciardo ninth on 1:22.249. And Danny Kvyat rounds out the top 10 on 1:22.260. Nico Hülkenberg is 11th on a 1:22.338. Then we get Carlos Sainz in 12th on a 1:22.482. Kevin Magnussen 13th on a 1:22.511. Kimi Raikkonen 14th on a 1:22.523. Lance Stroll 15th on 1:22.706. Sergio Perez is 16th on a 1:22.882. Antonio Giovinazzi 17th on 1:23.065. Lando Norris is 18th, or should we call him Nurse Norris, 1:23.561. Robbie Kubica 19th on a 1:23.737. And George Russell is 20th on a 1:24.313. Right, let's just catch up on some news then as it happened here in Monza, Italy. To start with, the first day's... Well, yesterday it was announced that Norris has to start from the back of the grid after he's changed his engine here at Monza. Lap away from a career best fifth last weekend, but power unit means he's now got to go to Renault's Spec C engine. So he has now got to start from the back of the grid, as well as Verstappen and Gasly. We already knew that. But it was a pretty quiet day. But news breaking as well that Mercedes technical advisor, Costa, to join Dallara for 2020. Dallara, of course, as they look to bring you custom-built chassis for teams in 2021. So Costa to join Dallara is a pretty big deal, actually. But it was a pretty quiet day here at Monza, of course. All bar the Formula 3 qualifying session that happened just before recording this programme. It was absolutely chaotic. 15 cars, that's half the field, were all down towards that straightaway between Ascari and Parabolica, and there was drivers coming on fast laps as well, nearly hitting them. Eventually, race director Michael Masi threw the red flag and said, no, that's it, end of. Right decision in my book, once again, and those of you know I'm very supportive of Michael Masi in the situations that he's been put in this year and the correct decisions he's been making. So, correct decision once again to stop the session. Right, we will be, if I switch back to my script, we'll be back tomorrow with Free Practice 3. Now that's live on BBC Radio 5 Live and Sky Sports F1 at 11 o'clock till 12 o'clock. We'll be back at 1:30 for the Saturday practice review. Qualifying is live from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock in the UK. That's on BBC Radio 5 Live and, of course, Sky Sports F1. Then highlights of qualifying will be on Channel 4 later on in the evening. The race on Sunday, we'll be back at 1 o'clock for the Sunday race preview. And the race gets underway at 2 on BBC Radio 5 Live, and watch it on Sky Sports F1, and the highlights will be later on Channel 4 as well. Well, weather, well, today was a bit of a washout, but tomorrow looks to be dry, so we should get a dry quali. But Sunday, thunderstorms and a lot more rain. It's going to be a classic. Don't miss anything this weekend. Subscribe below to stay up to date with all the information, and use Twitter and Instagram at JoshuaVirgin99 for all the information for coming up this weekend. It's going to be a good one. Stay with us here and see you tomorrow for the Saturday practice review. Bye for now.